After driving across the northern side of the Eyre Peninsula, it was time to begin our coastal journey from the small town of Streaky Bay to the western hub of Port Lincoln. Our hopes were set on crashing waves, stunning rock pools and unforgettable sunsets. However, as with most things, that didn't work out as planned. Join us for the second leg of our epic Eyre Peninsula road trip, one that taught us a dire lesson about the weather and wildlife of Australia. If you're planning a road trip across Australia and have never heard of the Australian bushfly, then you're going to want to check this video out. Starting off the day in Streaky Bay, we were on a hunt for a local bakery to serve up some French croissants to fuel up for the big day ahead. So where are we off to?
Bakery, of course. We're going to see if we've got some fresh croissants for breakfast before we head off further down the coast.
So yeah, there's one thing about the bakeries in Australia that are just bizarre, and it's they've got their priorities all wrong when it comes to opening their doors. There's no croissants until about 8, 9 o'clock. The place here said they weren't going to have it until about 10, and they've got Cornish pasties out.
Sausage rolls.
And sausage rolls and like bread and stuff like that. Like, who's that for breakfast? Get us a croissant. That's the breakfast items. That's what we need. So we've given up on the bakery and we've decided to head down towards Streaky Bay. And along this route, there's quite a lot of cliff top views. We're going to go and check some of them out. We were hoping to go and swim in some of the rock pools because it was roasting hot yesterday. But it's a bit greyer today and the wind is blowing and it's a lot colder. So maybe we'll jump in the pools. What do you think, Jim?
Yeah, we've got to jump in.
You're gonna brave it. But first of all, we're gonna get breakfast and we've got a lovely view over the high cliffs.
We've got loads and loads of bread.
And eggs
and it's yummy.
And
it's something that closely matches a croissant.
Yes, French toast.
Yeah.
That's right. Baguette de Francais. There you go.
Thank you.
Winner, winner.
Winner, winner.
And the most important part. How could I forget? If anyone is in any doubt about the number of flies that are in Australia, this is the back side of our van because there's no wind over this side. And they are all sitting. That's your face if you stand too still. Much like I'm doing right now, and you can see how many flies are landing on me. It is absolutely horrible, even on Gemma in the van. So we found a little spot where it's not too windy, which unfortunately means the flies are out. But this is the spot we're coming to now. It's called the GRANITES, which is behind us. This is a giant rock pool with these kind of orangey rocks, which I'm guessing is why it gets the name granite. And yeah, we may be going for a swim, Jim. Maybe. Hopefully that sun comes out. It's such a beautiful place to actually even just come and chill out though, because it's still warm despite the lack of sun, and the sea is right there, which is always a good sign, isn't it? Could be those 50 flies on your back. Yeah. Alright, so tell us about where we are if you can, without the flies bothering you.
Right, we're at WOOLSHED Cave, which is a massive big cave. There's a parrot. Massive big cave just out overlooking the sea. The tide is quite low at the moment, so it's not, the water's not very high into the cave. So we're able to sort of wander in, stand in some shade, get attacked by some flies and admire that gorgeous view.
If we could relax, yeah.
Yeah.
What Roxy is meant for.
So we've pulled in at Smooth Pool and Campbell has braved the flies. We actually just tried to pull into Point Westall, which was a point before this, and it was proper four-wheel drive type road. Yeah, poor little Roxy's not quite able for that, so we pulled back and pulled in at the Smooth Pool, but the road just looks a bit similar, to be honest. It's pretty
not
stony.
For our wee Roxy.
No, definitely not.
No.
Pretty stony and bumpy and full of flies. So good old Campbell braved it, got some photos, nice view.
Could sit here all day.
I could sit in this one in the car.
So like another thing about just how bizarre this landscape is if you look just behind Jimmy, you've just got green fields, point the camera over there. Green fields, bushes, all that stuff, and then on the right hand side of me we've got white sand dunes. And where do they come from? It's in the middle of nowhere. I'm guessing that's why it's called Cape Blanche, because of the white sand.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful.
And up ahead there you can see some snow on the mountains.
Yeah, it looks like snow, it looks like clouds or something up on the horizon.
It actually does.
But it's just white sand, it's so clean. So just pulled up at the Murphys Haystacks, which is on the way to Elliston. Just as you're coming back inland from Streaky Bay, and it's basically these granite rock formations that's over 1,500 million years old. So it's 1.5 billion years old. It's like insanely old, and it's a really beautiful place to actually come and look at. The weather's not that great just now. It's really windy and really overcast.
And really hot, so it feels like
really
you're walking
hot.
into
I'm
an oven.
Sweating sitting here.
Yeah.
But we're going to go and have a look at it nonetheless and see what it's like up close, because they look quite small from over here. But I don't know if it's just because they're really far away.
Possibly.
Finally approaching Port Lincoln. We're about half an hour out, and it's just incredible how quickly the landscape just changes. From going from like desert, sand dunes almost, to being in amongst big green trees and bushes and everything. There's parts even where there was some mountains we were driving past, and it honestly felt like we were back in the north coast of Scotland. Maybe a bit more yellow, but it's still, you've got the browns and the greens and all that. It feels like I'm back in Scotland. And it's a really beautiful place to be driving through.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And it has cooled down quite a bit. It's possibly now, what?
25 degrees.
25 degrees now. Bonus.
It's a good end to the day.
Definitely.
It was far from the Eyre Peninsula Roadtrip that we had dreamt of. However, the haven of Port Lincoln gave us a chance to reflect on our adventure and ask ourselves some hard questions. Was this how we wanted to leave the trip? Were we going to let some mild discomfort get in the way of our future adventures? After a day of soul searching, we reached a decision that would change the course of the rest of our epic South Australian road trip for the better.
Alright, so we've done some soul searching over lunch. We've decided that we don't really want to see Eyre Peninsula off like that. We owe it a bit more. The weather's cooled down, the flies aren't as bad, the wind's calmed right down.
Yeah.
And Granley Beach is calling our name for sunset.
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to do is we're going to head back up that way. We've still to find these rock pools. So we're going to dedicate the rest of this, guys, to finding those rock pools and showing you a banger of a sunset. First stop, where are we going?
Wine?
Get a bottle of wine for sunset. This one you had last time, wasn't it?
Can't remember. You get 2 for the price of one that we have.
2019, that's a good year.
No!